Hi there people, how you doing? So, today we have the re-review of the OnePlus 8 Pro, and I'm doing this because a lot of things have changed for the OnePlus 8 Pro with two subsequent updates that have vastly improved the overall experience. Firstly, we had the camera update, I'll talk about that soon, but secondly, we have the Oxygen OS 11 update, which changes quite a few things, but I haven't really explored through the settings and seen everything there is to it. I've seen some major changes, which I'm super glad for, to be honest. I'll talk about those in a few moments, but overall, the experience has, I would say, improved from what was an enticing one to nearly perfect, for me at least. So, with that said, let's begin. And yes, I will not be talking much about the design and hardware because that is one thing that doesn't change with software updates. So, it's the same as I said in the actual review. It's a very ergonomic, very good design. I really like the OnePlus 8 Pro's curves. It's very easy to hold in the hand, and personally, I do like the centered camera module. I think it adds some form of symmetry. And well, basically, the design is fantastic. Anyways, let's move on to the display because that is where some interesting facts have been unearthed. Basically, I have to say I am intensely lucky to get the OnePlus 8 Pro with zero display issues, and I say so because quite a few people have had display issues wherein there was some warm cast over the screen and many others. You can Google about it, you'll see that quite a few people have a lot of issues with their OnePlus 8 Pro displays. Luckily, I am not one of them, and man, I somehow managed to get the perfect OnePlus 8 Pro with a perfect display, which is fantastic. Speaking of which, the display is, in my opinion, one of the best displays on the market because we have a QHD Plus that is 1440p at 120Hz, both of them at the same time. There are very few phones that can actually do that. And then of course there's the content consumption side of things wherein we have 10-bit color, which vastly improves HDR content, making it look very clean, very free of artifacts and color banding. All of those things are absent on the OnePlus 8 Pro, which makes the HDR experience just fantastic. Now, of course, other phones are good, but the 10-bit color really makes a huge difference in my opinion. And secondly, I did talk about this before as well, but HDR colors on the OnePlus 8 Pro are not my favorite. They're a little bit flat, the contrast is a little bit lower, and that's, it's not my preference, but well, if it is yours, then well, the OnePlus 8 Pro has it. Anyways, now about the issues, well, I somehow haven't had them, so I can't really comment on them. I have no problems with the OnePlus 8 Pro whatsoever, and I'm not entirely sure if you're gonna get the issue in case you're holding off and you wanna buy it. And well, that's the one part of the OnePlus 8 Pro which is, not consistently good. Everything else about this phone is amazing. Say performance, battery life, it's all amazing. You've got the Snapdragon 865, which as you'd expect, fantastic performance, and battery life, surprisingly, with one of the most power hungry screens on the planet. It's amazing. I'm getting around 6 to 6.5 hours, and well, I have to say, man, the OnePlus 8 Pro's battery is fantastic. I mean, there are software optimizations and everything that OnePlus has done to make it so good. Like, kudos to them for that. So other than that, we have the cameras. Now, before we get to that, I want to talk about the few extra features that we have got. First and foremost of which is the always on display. My god, it has been long enough that OnePlus phones have not had this feature. I couldn't be more glad to see this feature finally make it to OnePlus devices. I think this was one of the very few big complaints that I had for the OnePlus 8 Pro as a whole, because I need an always on display. I know not everybody does, and yes, it will drain some battery over time, but yeah, always on displays, they are too useful to me, and I know for a fact to many other people to not consider having one at all. I mean, yeah, you can turn it off, so if you don't need it, then turn it off, sure. Save your battery, but for those who need it, I'm just glad we have this feature, finally. It took long enough, as I said before. But yeah, the always on display, one thing that I want to point out is that the clock faces, although they have some variations, but they are very, very minimalist. I mean, all of them look essentially similar, and if you're one for bold looks, unlike me, I prefer minimal and simpler designs when it comes to the clock faces of the always on display. But if you like bold designs, then you might get a little disappointed. given that we do not have such bold options when it comes to the always on display. But other than that, there is this one feature that kinda intrigued me, but I think it needs some refinement. It's the canvas feature on the always on display. So what it does is that it'll take your wallpaper and try to make an outline of whatever it is on your wallpaper and display that on your always on display. That way, when you move in from the always on display to the lock screen or to the home screen, then you'll transition from an outline to the full image. And in theory, it is quite an enticing feature. Sure, I mean, it's interesting. And well, the execution, at least yet, I would say, is not that amazing. For faces, it still works slightly, but when it comes to anything else, even for Valentine's image, even like, he's my pet and I wanted to keep his wallpaper, I didn't want to see my face over and over. So basically, having Valentine's face, it didn't really make the best outline of him. It missed in some places and it wasn't the best thing in the world. It's still in beta, so do keep that in mind, because if that feature actually launches, I would say it has some potential, but at this very moment, after using it for a very short period of time, I'm not left superbly impressed. The idea is great, but the execution at this moment, again, not so much. Now, let's talk about cameras. These cameras are, well, initially, I had some issues with these cameras. I felt like when it came to images, it kinda always decided to over-exaggerate colors and make things look very blue. The color temperature wasn't exactly spot on. I didn't really have too much problems with the vibrance. I like vibrant colors, so it suited my taste to some extent. But it was white balance issues that I had. Now, as it would seem, I compared this phone to the iPhone 12, which, as you all know, has some of the, if not the most natural looking photographs that come out of those cameras. And well, this one's white balance seemed to have no issues at all. So the latest software update, it seemed to have done a fantastic job. And well, it left me impressed, basically. Now, images overall, they were always fantastic from this phone. Super vibrant, super colorful, the contrast was great, I loved it. But now that the white balance has been fixed, I can quite easily rely on these cameras that much more. It's amazing, to be honest. I really like that OnePlus has been paying attention and giving us these software updates that basically make the experience of using these cameras that much more refined. And well, when it comes to portraits, however, portraits and human subjects, I would say it's not the best in the world. I mean, OnePlus phones weren't exactly top shelf when it came to portraits ever, really. Video is also similarly amazing on this phone. I mean, I never really had too much problem with it. I did have some problems with the focus tracking being a little lackluster, but I did find out later on that the OnePlus 8 Pro with the HDR mode turned on, the focusing was much better and the dynamic range all the more. So overall, if you're tracking faster subjects and all that, make sure you turn on the HDR mode. Yes, it has its limits. It'll only use a main camera and you cannot switch over to the ultra-wide or the zoom cameras. Understandable. I mean, it is using a high dynamic range and the software is doing more, so it needs a single high quality sensor to do that well. And well, other than that limitation, I do think that using the HDR mode that we have on the OnePlus 8 Pro, you're gonna get much better results. And especially in low light, if you use the HDR mode, you're gonna get tremendous results. I mean, this one's low light video was slightly better than that of the latest iPhone 12. Well, if that is not impressive, I don't know how you can get impressed, but basically, this one's video quality drastically improves with HDR mode, with the obvious asterisk wherein you cannot use any of the other lenses. So a little drop in versatility, but huge boost in quality and focusing speed as well. So I would say HDR mode was one thing that I really found to be fairly amazing, and it just made video quality of the OnePlus 8 Pro that much better. The cameras overall, I want to say that with the improvements and all that, it is truly flagship-like at this moment. I think that's how I would put it. Of course, putting aside the kinda lackluster portraits, it's not bad once again, it's alright, but you won't be blown away. So overall, the OnePlus 8 Pro has improved, actually. It has improved quite a bit, and it just gives me that much more pleasure to say that The OnePlus 8 Pro, given its current pricing and everything, I think it is more than worth your money. If you're one of those people who has been holding out and you want to see how the year rolls out and how the smartphone markets evolve, and basically you've been waiting for the best all-round flagship, I would say the OnePlus 8 Pro is the way to go. It's quite easily one of the best flagships because if you think about it, it's got a fantastic display, albeit it has an inconsistency that I talked about. So do keep that in mind. The design is incredible in my opinion with the matte finish and everything. It's fantastic. Secondly, the cameras have now been improved so much that it basically is one of the best out there. Thirdly, the battery life and performance as such are just great as you would expect. The OnePlus 8 Pro has amazing performance and just beautiful battery life. I know that doesn't make much sense, but yeah, the OnePlus 8 Pro with its power hungry display and all that, it still manages to get so much screen time and so much battery life that it almost surprises me each day. And hence, yes, I do still recommend the OnePlus 8 Pro because for the price that it came in, it offers so much more smartphone. Even at launch price, at this very moment, I would say that it is still very hard to beat given that there are so many smartphones already out there. The OnePlus 8 Pro all round is still one of the best, if not the best, for most people out there. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be seeing you guys later. Cheers.